What's up, YouTube? Sorry for the delayed video. I was pretty busy this week, but we're back once again. I'm here to give you a update on Pendulum Monsters, go over some of the new rules, and just kind of break down Pendulum Monsters to you, break down Pendulum Summoning, and tell you why this is the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'll go ahead and get right to it, right? Went ahead and purchased a structure deck for the rules, for these guys, Supply Squad, who everybody's hyping up. Let me just bring it up a little bit closer. Basically, once per turn, you can draw a card if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect. So the structure deck is alright. It's $12.99, a little bit pricey for my taste, but I'll go ahead and break it down. Don't mind the boxers, just random cards I chose to use. So basically now that one of the few things, I'll start by breaking in the Pendulum Monsters. So Pendulum Monsters are supposed to be half monster, half spell. And you can actually tell that by the green part from down here and then the brownish effect part up here. So what you can do is you can either choose to normal summon him. In this case, because he's 3 stars, you could just summon him. Or you can actually place it in your pendulum zone. And the two pendulum zones are right here. Notice how I've moved my graveyard above and above the extra deck. Okay? So those would be, whoops, sorry for the glare there, but basically would be like right there. So let me go ahead and break down how they work. This first part would be the effect that they would get when they are in the pendulum zone, whereas this part is their monster effect. Okay? So just going to separate that for you so you know. Another thing you have is these numbers here, right? You'll notice that this one has an 8 and this one has a 1. I'll go into that. Basically, you have a high and a low, and you're allowed to special summon once per turn, only once during that turn, as many monsters as you want from your hand or extra deck whose levels are in between your high and your low. So in this case, Stargazer Magician and Time Gazer Magician, if I put Star on the left at 1, Time Gazer on the right at 8, I could essentially, oh shit, this glare's pretty bad. I could essentially special summon monsters that were either level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, right? So that's basically what they are. Now, some of the other new rule effects are that turn player, the first person, will not draw 6 cards anymore. The first person will draw 5. So you will see a lot more players deciding to go second, simply because you can attack, you have the plus draw, and to be honest, it's not bad. It does take a little bit getting used to, but I think it'll help the game overall. Another thing that is taking effect is you can now have 2 field spells active at the same time. Previously, if I had a field spell active and my opponent chose to activate a field spell, it would destroy mine and send it to the graveyard. So now, with the way it's being set up, you can actually have 2 field spells. So in a Madolchi matchup, you could potentially gain 500, if it was a mirror match, you could gain 1,000 for both. So it'll make mirror matches fun, definitely. And you'll definitely see, for example, Mist Valley decks. I think there is a Mist Valley lock with using Avion and these Pendulum Monsters that I'll talk about briefly in another video. But yeah, so let me go ahead and just jump right into it, right? So say that I had these in my hand, right? I can choose to summon them or to use them as spell cards and place them in the pendulum zone. In this instance, I'm going to go ahead and place them in the pendulum zone for this example, right? So I'll put one here, one here. At this time, I could now activate their pendulum effects if I wanted to, or I could do my once per turn pendulum summon. So for example, this guy's from the structure, I could pendulum summon him. He is a level 6. His effect is, when he's pendulum summoned, I can target 1 card in the field and return it to the hand, but I can only do it once per turn, right? So pretty much it compulse, not bad. 6 stars, so you pretty much have to pendulum summon him, and his effect is only activated when he's pendulum summoned. Similar to other monsters' effects that activate when they're summoned. For example, when this card is normal summon, like a Monarch, or a XYZ summon, like a Tiger King, just a trigger effect. So they also introduce Odd Eyes Dragon. This is not the Odd Eyes Dragon that we will be waiting for. This you can imagine as a baby brother. The really good one is going to be coming out in the pack, and that's when Pendulums will definitely be getting more support. At the moment, they basically just have these two guys and this guy. So I believe there's only 2 decks that are playable competitively right now using these 2 cards, and one of them is the Mist Valley Avian Lock deck. Now, say for example, for whatever reason, my opponent decides to try and to get rid of these Pendulum Zone cards, right? Say, because they are spell cards, they can be MST'd, right? So say my opponent plays MST, my Pendulum card will not go to the grave. Instead, it goes on top of my extra. So what this will potentially do is allow you to set up to summon them next turn. Because when you Pendulum summon, you can Pendulum summon from either your hand or from your extra deck. So if you would imagine, say I don't have another copy of him, but if this was another one of him and he was here, I could potentially special summon him next turn, right? So that is pretty much the way Pendulum monsters work. Personally, I think it's going to allow for a lot of just special summoning like crazy, but I do think that not drawing first turn will limit perhaps an opponent doing too much initially. This structured deck, like I said, did have Supply Squad. Definitely hold on to these cards if you have them. Supply Squad is going to go up in value. I think it's going for about $3 now, but I predict it easily going to $5, if not $7. This card will be really good for scraps. As you know, scraps are one of the decks that are predicted to have a lot of potential with the Pendulum monsters coming in. So keep an eye out for scraps. Like I said, they will be competitive coming up. But yeah, that's basically Pendulum monsters. Personally, I don't know if they're going to be so good right away, but they will definitely be something to keep an eye out for. And don't forget that now your graveyard is way up here. I played a tournament this weekend, and your graveyard is no longer down here. This is now considered a Pendulum Zone. A bit unfortunate for those who have mats and maybe already had the mat set up, but yeah. So go ahead and leave your comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you have any questions regarding maybe how they work. If there's anything else that you feel I should cover, let me know. But yeah, that's basically it. Team Envious XC out.